Hey, how's it going? My name is Montias Watts. I'm 29 years old. I'm a writer. Transitioning over to photography and videography, but I still write. And I'm here today to tell you more about me, Montias Watts. I describe myself as a very um, protective person, playful person. If anything, I'd say loyal. I'm a very loyal person. I'm very playful until I personally feel like I need to uh, jump in for a friend or associate or family member. But yeah, I guess loyal, but a big clown at the same time. More of a clown. I'm a loyal clown. I've been writing since I was 17, 18 in high school. Um, and around about that time, Gary was writing with me, and that's when we started doing projects. All right, my creative process. Um, it's kind of hard to explain my creative process when I write scripts. Really, I get all my ideas and I get everything done by just taking a lot of things in. Like I'll leave the house, I go to the grocery store, I see interesting people and watch what they're doing. I just people watch, and then my brain wanders into, well, what if this, what if that, and then I take that and kind of write about it and put it in a script. I just have a really wild imagination, and once I write it down, I'll present. I would present it to the rest of the group, and if it was a go, it was a go. If it wasn't, I take it and tweak it, and we'd brainstorm it. But yeah, I really get all my ideas from really not trying too hard to think about getting ideas or really clawing for ideas. I just let it come naturally. All right, gosh, how do I choose which ideas are worth writing? That's important because I have a lot of ideas and you can't write them all. What I like to do, I like to kind of sit back, relax, and kind of play the script or the idea out in my head, and if it makes sense, then it's worth writing. If it doesn't make sense and it's not going to go anywhere, or I can't create multiple episodes off of it, like it'd be better as a movie, then I kind of put those to the back. I like things where I can build off of it. But yeah, that's how I can tell if it's worth writing, if it makes sense. Yes, I do have some projects I'm currently working on. It's kind of a yes and a no. Um, so I am working on some horror films, action, a lot more. I want to do a lot more with drama, comedy. Um, but I have taken a break. I've kind of been playing more of a supportive role lately. On top of that, I'm finishing up my degree, but I'm gonna be back in the mix. Um, hopefully, sometime next year, probably around January. I'm gonna be back in the mix, and I'm gonna open up the vault, and from there, I'll start working on my projects again. Um, but Yeah, it's not really. There's not really a lot I can tell you about what I'm working on now. I haven't really gotten a chance to get that deep into it myself with the amount of schoolwork I have, but I'd be happy to share as soon as I get to the point where I can. Yeah, photography. Yeah, I can definitely tell you about that. Yeah, I'm interested in wildlife photography and landscape photography. I also will do portfolio and I will go to social events, car, and everything like that. But I do like going into the woods and capturing pictures. I'd be happy to upload some pictures I took out at the Raven Rock Nature Trail, and it's a nice escape. It's really creative, really. I mean, you can learn a lot from it, especially about lighting. I mean, you learn a lot more about lighting. I definitely did versus when I learned videography at Fayetteville Tech. So I don't know. It's just another chapter for me. Honestly, I don't know if I like filming more or if I like photography more. But just say the word, I'd be happy to send some of my nature pictures over. But yeah, I'll be on the lookout. I am about to travel around, post up pics. If you happen to see me on the nature trail, say hi. I'll be happy to take a picture of you and send that to you. Maybe you can upload it to your social media site or something. God, has COVID affected my work? Well, yeah. I mean, for someone who's a new up and comer in the whole photography thing. Um, yeah, I would say it's affected it a little bit. Makes it hard to kind of find clients because why would they want to deal with someone they don't know? They don't know if I'm healthy or not. Versus a company that they've trusted for years and that they know for years. It's. I mean, but you keep on trucking through it. I mean, like I said, I'm finishing up my degree, and that should help me get my foot in the door a little bit more, and hopefully it won't affect me anymore. Um, but I mean, hell, I've been doing just fine, and if anything, hey, it's a really good hobby. I mean, I could take this time to practice, learn more, get even better. Because you can never stop learning when it comes to it, and do it on my own terms and take pictures that I like and learn that way. So yeah, it's affected me, but it's not stopping me. Um, I'd say education is super important when it comes to pursuing a career in creative arts. I mean, it also depends on where you live. If you live in a place like, let's say, New York, California, Florida, the places where everyone has a talent, uh, it's a little harder because everyone can do the same thing. So you have to have a gimmick or you have to look a certain way. You gotta have something that makes you stand out. But if you're looking to be that kind of artist to where you know, you just have this unique art style, then I don't know, maybe not. But if you're looking to get into it like professionally, like you're designing stuff for schools or you're designing things for important government buildings. You're painting, or whether you're painting or you're doing tiles or whatever. You're going to need that education that lets people know you've learned from these professionals. You know exactly what you're doing. Because You just have to have an edge. Education will give you that edge in a career that everybody, a lot of people, either pursue or want to pursue. So stand out. I mean, learn everything. Learn everything from the history of colors to how a color wheel works, or if you paint, or learn who invented the video camera or how it started all the way up to now for people who want to do videography. Read Shakespeare for people who want to be writers. You can learn a lot through just getting that education versus just winging it. Not everybody's a natural. I'm definitely not. Well, 10 years from now, um, 10 years from now, I see myself, even though I'm in love with filming, I'm in love with writing, I plan on writing and filming a lot of things. Um, but I'm more in love with taking pictures, and I'm actually more in love with wildlife. The whole time I've been going to school, I've been developing that love for wildlife and wildlife photography, or any kind of photography, but wildlife particularly. I even joined the Peace Corps. Unfortunately, because of COVID, the assignment that I was going to go on in Africa next year has been canceled. It's okay. But in 10 years, I see myself traveling, um, exploring, doing photography. Hopefully with National Geographic. That'd be great if I got a job with them. But even if I have to do it on my own, I'll do it on my own. Just freedom, and hopefully, my fiance can understand that, and I think she does. But that's where I see myself in 10 years. Hopefully, walking through the Amazon rainforest, or visiting Costa Rica, or just somewhere taking pictures, and then of course always returning back home to my friends and loved ones to hang out and share stories. What started my love for wildlife photography? Well, I've always been fond of animals. But what started my love, I'm so tongue tied. What started my love for wildlife photography was when I was deployed to Kuwait. Um, And when I was in Kuwait, I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting a little extra money out here. I'm gonna buy a camera. Whenever I'm having downtime, I'm gonna buy a camera. I volunteered at the USO to be their event photographer as well. And well, one day we went out to the field, and this camel kept following me and my company around. And everybody was taking pictures beside the camel, and I kind of got a piece of that action. I started taking pictures of the camel. I wasn't getting close to the camel, but it something just clicked in my head. Like, hey, I love animals. I have never seen a camel up close before, and this was a wild camel, and it was eating. People were feeding it trail mix. It was kind of weird, and I got a picture of it. And why not keep going? I even have a picture of a cat over in Afghanistan. They're a lot more fluffy than the ones not Afghanistan, in the Kuwait, and they're a lot more fluffy than the ones over here. That I have a picture of. The camel, good luck. I don't know where that picture is. That SD card is gone. But yeah, and it just it's kind of cool to capture a picture of something I love, which is an animal, in its natural environment. I mean, heck, my whole apartment is a zoo. I have two dogs, a ball python, and a bearded dragon. So I love animals, and I love capturing pictures of them, making them look their best. It's just something I enjoy. Oh, Jarman Evolution, yeah, I was in that. It was fun. It was good to get to hang out with everybody and get back into something that or have a part of something that I hadn't done in so long. But I had fun, and then I would jump into a film for anybody, for any of my friends. Acting in my future, though, I've never really been much of an actor. I'll do what I have to do, as a favor, and darn it, I'll do my best. But acting, me personally, no. I'm more of a writer and director, behind the scenes kind of guy. That's more me. Uh, but I guess I can't say I don't see acting in my future because, like I said, if I'm asked and if I have the time, I'm gonna do it. Um, but it's not my goal. It's not my goal. Uh, if my life was a book, what would it be called? If my life was a book, and me not referencing anything that already exists, hopefully, I I would label that book seasonal, um, or seasons, or just something that signifies change, like seasons or something being seasonal. Um, and it's because, well, it 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 went from high school, me hanging out with the usual group, and then we all graduated and most of us left, and that started a whole new chapter in my life, which was like seasons changing. And then we all had a friend, John. John used to help us film, and he went to the Air Force. I think he's still in the Air Force, and really that changed a lot of dynamics. When one very valuable person leaves a group, and that was a change. And then I went into the military. That was a huge change for me personally. So I didn't get to see my friends like that. I made new friends. I went through basic training was a chapter. I made friends. Then next thing you know, we were stripped away, and now I'm at my unit. I'm all the way in Kansas. I don't remember really leaving North Carolina like that before. Putting the thousands, over 1,000 miles behind me. And then when we deployed, and then when I got back from deployment, then to me coming back, then to me seeing everyone again, then to me getting engaged, then to me just A, B, and C, going to college. See, everything is seasonal, and even soon, maybe next year, I'll be moving to either Charlotte, Virginia, or Colorado, and that'll be a whole other chapter. So it would definitely be seasons or seasonal or the seasons. I don't know. What made me go into the military? Well, when I graduated high school, I was working at Best Buy, and I was living with my mom, which was kind of normal. I mean, I was only like 18. I don't know. And it was going fine so far, but when I turned 19 years old, I kind of decided that I wanted to do a little more. I kind of wanted a purpose. I was one of those people who had way too much energy and not a lot to do with it, so I needed some way to expend it. I don't know. Um, and the military was the option. And it was very weird because I always told myself and other people that I would never go into the military. I would never go into the military. Um, but it turns out it's probably just in my blood to go into the military. My dad was in the military for 15 years. My uncle was in the military. My other uncle was in the military. My aunt on my mom's side was in the military. I have a lot of family members that went to the military. The only thing I did that I would have done differently was I mean, I had a positive experience, but I went infantry, combat arms, and though I didn't, nothing, it was nothing too heavy, but it was just uh, it's, I'll just put it this way, it's a club of its own. I mean, you have to have tough skin, you have to be able to roll with the punches, and you know, give something back. So I mean, I had a positive experience. I did. I really did. It was fun. I mean, there were stressful times. There were like WTF times, but it, they make good drinking stories now. I mean, but I'm out of there now. I've been out of the military since 2015. And if I could, I would go back, but there's no way I can go back now for reasons that I'd rather not discuss. I mean, no, I was a good person and I was honorably discharged, but it's a medical thing. But it was all right. What's next for me? Well, finish up school, then move somewhere with more to do, more to see, more opportunities, and and make it doing what I love doing. That's what's next for me. You can go to find any old projects or past projects will be on YouTube. If you go into the search bar, type in Kings Lane High. High is in high school, but Kings Lane High. You type in Kings Lane High episode and then a number, probably one, two, three. That'll pop up. That is one of the first projects our group got started on. For if you can't find it based off of my direct, I didn't really deal with uploading things. I wrote Kingsley and I when I was in the army, so I was in Kansas. I was typing and I was sending it to my group that was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Getting contact with Ricky Bell or Gary Frank Simpson. Um, and they'll also be able to direct you to how to get to those past works. As for my photography, you can go on YouTube, click on my pictures, go to my uploads, and scroll through. And you'll see those. I also have newer pictures, but I haven't uploaded them because I haven't put a watermark on any of them, and I don't want to just throw my stuff up there without putting some kind of signature on it. Um, but I will be uploading work, and also I will be putting myself out there to take pictures of social events and on top of that holiday events. So my work will be up there. But for right now, I'm mainly just focusing on photography as a hobby in school instead of really doing the whole business thing right now. It's just for money every now and again. Right now, I'm more focused on learning. But if you want to see some of my past projects, just go to my Facebook, go to my uploads and my pictures. Contact Gary Frank Simpson or Ricky Bell Jr. For Kings Lane High information, or just go to YouTube and type in Kings Lane High episode and then a number. Take your time. A lot of people who get into the creative field, they want what they want, and they want it right then. And when they're not able to achieve it, those expectations that they had are shattered, and it leads them into depression, and it makes them give up. But take your time, find a mentor, learn from them, internship for a little bit. Um, I mean, your style is your style, but everyone needs a foundation. It won't hurt you to learn how to do it the way someone with credibility does it. And then once you learn their techniques, piggyback off of that to create your own technique. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm going to school now. You know, I know how to take pictures. I've been taking pictures. I take great pictures. I think I take great pictures. I haven't gotten a you know, crappy review on my pictures in a long time, and I take my reviews in person. Um, but I'm still learning from people. I mean, heck, after I go out on a nature trail, sometimes I'll contact my friend Mindy and I send her the pictures. She did photography. She's been doing photography longer than I have, and I'll ask her, hey, can you critique this? Can you take a look at them? Tell me what I could have done better, blah, 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 and then send them back to me. And she does it, and I look over it, and she writes a lot of stuff. So I'll read over it, and then I'll go try to readjust next time. You know, you're never too good to learn. So, hell, I mean, if you can afford it, go to college. If you can't afford it, find somebody and then ask if you can follow them around, mentor. There are Facebook groups, but don't rush it, because when you rush it, you're not really putting your best work forward. If you can't look at your work and feel something, then you rushed it. But that's what I would tell people is don't try to rush to the finish. Do what you have to do to get to where you need to be. Don't rush to where you want to be, because if you rush, you're gonna trip. Take your time. You'll get there. As long as you do the right things, you'll get there. Just don't lose sight of what your original goal is. I worked security for a long time, but it didn't stop me from spending my spare money after paying bills on camera stuff. It didn't stop me from doing that. So I'm doing something that has nothing to do with what I want to do to get to where I want to be. So that's the advice I give.